This is Planet 76, your source for all things Philadelphia 76ers. We've got another great episode coming your way today, and we're cleared for takeoff. Let's go. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Planet 76, episode number 40, Michael. We are on episode 40. This is a big milestone.
40. We're almost to 50.
It's crazy.
How crazy is that?
Crazy. The 40th episode. We're actually at the All-Star break recording just, I don't even know, 7 minutes after the end of the Sixers and the Bucks coming down to the wire. Sixers get the win tonight. Much needed win, I'll say. A pretty good win, solid win to beat the defending champs. First time since, they said at the end of the broadcast, first time since Christmas of 2019 that the Sixers are able to beat the Milwaukee Bucks. Yeah, that was a fun one. So today we're just going to chat about where the Sixers are at the break, talk about James Harden a little bit, of course. In case you didn't know, he is a 76er. And in case you didn't hear our most recent episode, you should go check that one out. It's a good one. Actually has our most listens so far, Mike. So people need to check that one out if you haven't yet. We've got a guest with us as well who's going to break down some Sixers stuff today. We got Charlie with us. Charlie, what's up, bro?
What's up? How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm feeling real good after that win, let me tell you.
Yeah, me too.
So, so the Sixers sit at 35 and 23 at the All-Star break. We're officially here, and it is a log jam in the Eastern Conference. The Bulls, Heat, Bucks, Cavs, Sixers, Celtics, and Raptors. 7 teams within 5 games in the top 7 in the Eastern Conference. It's going to be a wild ride these last 25, 30 games to end the season. And, so Mike and Charlie, what's your thoughts on just tonight's game in general? So a 3-point win in Milwaukee. What's your takeaway there?
Charlie,
I think that very, very good win, and I was very, very impressed that I am beating Maxey, because Maxey is really, really good. So, yeah. I was also impressed that we were able to beat the Bucks in Milwaukee. That was impressive. First time since, since Christmas, I know, in 2018. So, that was impressive. Yeah.
No doubt. Mike?
Yeah, I mean, I think even if the Sixers lost the game, I still think it would have been really impressive for them to be in the game basically the whole time, even having been down by, I think, 10, even 12 at certain points. So ultimately I'm glad it was a win, but I think it was really impressive to see the Sixers be in that game after getting waxed by Boston on Tuesday.
Oh yeah, that game was terrible on Tuesday. I didn't watch the game, but I just saw the slide. I was like, oh my god,
lucky you, Charlie.
Really bad.
Yeah.
Lucky you for not having to watch that. I forget when I turned it off. Must have been mid third quarter. Because we went on a decent run in the second quarter. I forget what we cut it to, and then it got back up. Jaylen Brown hit a ridiculous shot at the end of the half. Matisse and Maxey on him, top of the key, drained it for 3 to go up 24 or whatever at the half, and I was just like, well, it's kind of the type of game it is. I think they started from 3, 11 for 14 or 11 for 15.
Oh
if you do that, you're going to win a lot of games, and you're going to win them by a lot of points. So, that was a bad game. Really, really, like you said, Mike, it feels good to regroup and get this win, head into the All-Star break with a road win against the defending champs. No one else can say that right now.
Huge key on the road, too.
Yeah.
Not at home, but
on the road. Very, very big.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was big. So that feels good. Again, 35 and 23. Just 2 games back in the loss column are the Sixers of first, trailing the Chicago Bulls and Miami Heat. So we're at the break. So, of course, it's an appropriate time to just dive into some questions as we kind of gauge the season, where the Sixers are at, how they've been doing so far. So I'm going to ask you guys, we got 5 or 6 questions here just to kind of walk through on the season to date and looking forward, again, down the stretch post All-Star break. That sound good? We can walk through these?
Perfect.
Yes.
All right, let's do this. So give me a I don't know if you want to do it in a word or two or a sentence or two, but what's your thoughts on the 76ers season this far? Are you pleased? Do you have a grade for it? Like, maybe give it a letter grade. I don't know.
Mike, do you want to go and I'll go?
No, you go. Go ahead. You got it. Yeah.
I think that, I don't know, I would say impressive that we've done without Harden, because we all thought that Harden was going to be able to, play a week, when he first joined the Sixers. So I would say impressive that we're able to win games, right now. Yeah.
It has been good. I don't know if I would have guessed 35 and 23 without Ben Simmons, with all the injuries, with all the COVID issues, and all the things going on this year. To be 2 games back at first is good. So, Mike, why don't you give me a letter grade, Michael?
Letter grade. I'll letter grade, not based on expectations, because I had none. Letter grade. No, I'm serious.
I know you did.
Letter grade based on literally how they played. Honestly, dude, when you factor in injuries, COVID stuff, I think I give them a B.
Yeah.
To be honest, because again, like they're the, would you say they were the 3rd seed right now?
They
were as high. The Sixers were as high as 1, as low as 6. And now they're at 3. So, if I'm being totally honest, this season has been, again, the word we like to use tonight is impressive. Extremely impressive. Because, again, they just traded for Harden. They haven't even had him yet. And they've won, how many games have they had? How many games have they had? 4? 3?
Yeah, I think they're
5? 3-1? I mean, like, I even though I had no expectations, I just did not expect the Sixers to be this well off without who. I'm not going to say his name anymore.
We don't speak of him anymore.
He's the unspoken one.
I think that's well said. I think that, again, when you measure it by their 12 games over 500, they have a player, this is a factual statement now, they have a player on their roster who has not played this year, that is a Hall of Famer, that is a former MVP, that is going to do wonders, hopefully, for this team in terms of just his ability to facilitate, his ability to handle the ball, his ability to create a shot for himself. It's very, very cool to think about how well they've played and how much better they can be. So that's exciting. So let me ask you this. So based on the Sixers' success, and that's the reason this question comes after that question, because I knew you were going to say they've had a good year so far. So, based on the Sixers' success, how much does that play into, and the level that Joel Embiid is playing at, how much do you think that played into them making the decision to make the move for Harden at the deadline at 1:30 p.m., an hour and a half before the deadline, rather than waiting till the offseason? I'll let you start with that one, Michael.
How much did Embiid's play have to do with that, you're saying?
Right, rather than, we'll just wait until the offseason. Maybe we'll get him then. Why now?
I think it had mostly everything to do with that, because Morey was really adamant about doing what was right to have a proper team around Joel Embiid to launch the Sixers into contention for a championship. Like, if Joel Embiid wasn't playing this way, yeah, the trade might still have happened, but I feel like there was a more, how do I even say it? Like a greater sense of urgency from Daryl Morey, because I think he was probably still content waiting until the offseason, but I know for a fact that, he said it, he wants to win a championship. Like he wants to get the Sixers to an NBA Finals, and with how Joel Embiid's playing, I think it was probably a little, I don't want to say too good to be true, but I think it was definitely, I think the Harden move was definitely in the works, whether it was now or 3 months from now. I think it was probably going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Charlie, you say the same?
I think, I'm not happy about us getting Harden, is that I feel like everyone was like, "Oh, Daryl Morey, just trade away Simmons now." And like,
Yeah.
I don't care what we get for him, just trade him away because it's gonna like hurt us. And like, it's just great that like he got Harden. And it was like last year, it's like you think he's gonna go to Philly, and he goes to Brooklyn, and you're like, he's in Brooklyn, he's probably gonna stay there forever. And it's like, that was one chance we had, and we blew it. And then like all of a sudden, it's like Harden wants to leave. You know, I don't know, maybe he'll get traded, and boom, he got it. It's just, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Very, very
All of a sudden, it kind of just like everything opened up at once almost.
Right.
Yeah,
it's pretty
yeah.
amazing.
Everyone was like first saying that, like, you know, it might be Irving that might get traded because of the whole thing with the vaccine, and then like,
Yeah.
I remember seeing that. But let me just say, my reaction to the Harden trade was just very, very strange. I was at school in one of my classes, and I checked my phone. I saw I got Harden. I walked out of the classroom and just like started yelling in the hallway because I was so excited. Yeah, it was really
Attaboy.
funny.
Good, man.
We like to hear that. No, it was yeah. Oh my gosh. It all happened so quickly.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
the rumor to the fact that, oh my God, this isn't really gonna happen, is it? And then it does. That, you know, in the last hour and a half, literally. Pretty cool stuff. So the Sixers have James Harden. Again, in case you didn't know, and again, I agree with both of you. That was very much influenced by the way that Joel has played this year and the way that the Sixers have played this year. You know, maybe Daryl wouldn't have felt so much of an urge to do a deal now had they not said, okay, well, if we had James Harden to this team, that makes us a contender right now. And maybe they wouldn't have said that if we were 500, or you know what I mean. So we just don't know, but we're happy we have James Harden. So let me ask you this. So
Can I say one
again,
thing?
grand scheme of things. Oh yeah, go ahead.
One other thing I was going to say is I feel like part of what's getting Harden is because of his relationship with Daryl Morey. You know, those two know each other from Houston, so it's
Right.
like, you know, that I think that was also part of it.
Absolutely.
It's funny, and it's funny you mention that too, because I think that was a huge reason. Because I mean, even from when Harden got traded from the Rockets, like Morey was trying to get him. Even from then, that was like a year ago.
Right.
So
Yeah.
he definitely was still on the board of like, hey, I want to get James Harden here. Like, I want him. Like, I want him to play for my team again. You know.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, he definitely had a role in that, and we could have seen that happening from the jump. And again, even like Charlie said, we kind of thought we missed our chance last year, and now look, we have James Harden.
We missed our chance because Ben Simmons doesn't know how to shoot a free throw or make a layup.
Oh boy! All right, so this little segment I labeled on the outline at least overachievers/underachievers, and in that part is who needs to step up. So just again based on the, you know, however many games so far this season, who have you really, really liked what you've seen from on the Sixers? I think one of them is pretty obvious, so maybe don't use Joel Embiid for this one. But who else have you liked, you know, watching them play this season? And then who do you want to see step up? So give me, you know, maybe each of you give me one.
Korkmaz. I'm not a fan of Furkan. I just think too inconsistent. Okay. I'm not a big fan of him.
So you want to see Korkmaz step up?
Yeah, I love him say Furk.
Okay. All right, Mike.
Should I keep going?
So I think I think I would like. Who would I like to see step up? I don't even really know. But one guy I would like to highlight. One of you may know who it is. It's not Embiid. It's not Maxey. It's not Harris. It's George Niang.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I love Niang. He's great.
Right. He's been great, and I'm gonna be flat out honest. I had no idea what kind of player he was gonna be coming into the season. I checked out some of his, you know, stuff from Utah. I just kind of assumed he'd be, you know, 3-point shooter, whatever. But he's been like he's really been more than that in my opinion. Obviously, I mean, he had
Absolutely.
5 3-pointers tonight. He's absolutely been a 3-point shooter, but I feel like he's just done more than that. Like, he really knows the game. He knows how to play. He knows where to be on the court. He hustles. He's not a great defender, but he's physical. Like, he brings a bit of physicality the Sixers don't always have.
Right.
And he's just he's just a very solid all-around player. And again, he's someone that I didn't think was going to be able to contribute like this. So if we're talking about overachievers, I would give it to him. I mean, I really believe that.
Yeah, I think that's a good choice. I think
Yeah.
he so I got to watch some of his game in college and
Iowa, right?
Iowa State.
Iowa State.
So I watched a lot
Right.
just because he was back and forth in the Big 12, and I watched a lot of Big 12 basketball, and he was so good there.
Mhm.
He handled the ball a lot. He was a very capable, defender, capable shooter,
Yeah.
capable facilitator. And so when I knew he was coming in, I knew that he would bring some of those things to the table. And obviously, he is. I don't remember him being quite the 3-point shooter that he is now. That's obviously an aspect of his game that he's worked on. But as you mentioned, he's very good just in other ways, and it's really, really a cool thing to see. So I think that's an excellent choice for the overachiever for the Sixers this year. He's been a bright spot, even tonight. Not
Yeah.
saying he shut down Giannis or anything, but
He was okay.
He wasn't afraid.
He
And
was
he got a
okay.
couple stops on him, and Giannis scored on him, of course. But he wasn't backing down, and he was willing and ready to bump
Yeah.
with him. He took that charge from Giannis tonight.
Yes.
I probably hurt a little bit, but he was willing to step in. So, what about you, Charlie? Anybody that you are happy with how they've played this year on the Sixers?
Well, one person I think needs to play better is Matisse, just because, his offense is just not good. I just don't know. I'm happy he's here because I feel like if we had traded away him and Simmons for Harden, we'd have no defense right now. So I just feel like Matisse has got to stop bricking wide open 3-pointers, as I've seen on Instagram and
Yeah.
Twitter, people saying that. So, yeah. That's all I gotta say,
Matisse. He can almost be both. He can be an overachiever defensively and an underachiever offensively.
It's unfortunate too, though, because you don't want to rag on him for it, but at the same time, it's like Matisse. He really does get wide open, and he misses a lot of wide open threes. It's unfortunate.
Yeah.
But his defense is still really good, though.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I love his defense, His defense is great.
Amazing defender for sure.
All right, so I have one question next, so I'm going to change it up a little bit. So, who do you think? Now, it's easy to say, everybody on the Sixers is going to benefit from James Harden being on the Sixers. But, obviously, I mean, there's going to be guys whose points are going to be lower. There's going to be guys whose minutes are going to be lower when James Harden comes in. There's going to be guys whose touches are lower when James Harden come in. So it's there's a lot that people have to deal with and players out there have to deal with when you play with a guy like that. But in your opinion, who is the guy that is going to benefit the most from James Harden being in a Sixers uniform post All-Star break? Who is one guy that benefits the most? Charlie, who you got?
I'll say Maxey.
Okay.
Great choice. Great choice.
Why do you think him?
Because I feel like he's the future of the Sixers. I feel like him, Matisse, and Joel are the Sixers' future. And I feel like even though Maxey's been playing really well even before we got Harden, I just feel like it'll be better for him. Because now he'll have Embiid and Harden to mentor him. I just feel like if Maxey can continue playing well, it'll be good for us. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Absolutely. All right, Mike. So he got Maxey. Who you got?
I would also love to talk about Maxey, but honestly, I'll go somewhere different, and I'll say Harris.
Okay.
I heard it somewhere. Oh no, actually, Harden said it in the press conference. He highlighted Tobias Harris and said, Tobias Harris,
Gives you
guy
20
that
a
can
game,
score
he
20
said.
a game,
Yep.
right? And he said I want to make. He basically I forget what exact words he used, but he basically said, "I want to make it easier for him." / I want to make that happen for him.
Yeah.
And whatever that is, however that ends up happening, whether it be just because Harden is there and there's less pressure on Harris to perform, whether it's, him being able to, whatever 2-man game with Harris, whatever the case may be, pick and rolls, pick and pop, stuff like that. I think Harris will benefit a lot from not only Harden scoring and passing, but just Harden's presence. I think everyone will benefit from Harden's presence, but
Agreed.
in this instance, I'll highlight Harris for sure, and obviously and Maxey as well. I agree with Maxey. I just wanted to pick somebody else.
Yeah, I agree with both of those. I think both of those are excellent choices.
Yes.
And I think they're excellent choices, but they're like different ones as well. So even like you see Maxey benefiting from Harden being there after 3 days, and he's not even playing yet. You kind of see them talking, communicating, and it's really cool to see Harden cheering him on. And Maxey has said that he's learning from him already, and that's a really, really good sign. And so he's impacting him before even stepping on the court, just because they're both guards and that kind of thing. And then Tobias, again, moving from that second scorer to that third, maybe even fourth scorer, depending on what Maxey does on a given night, is good. And Tobias has been very, very solid lately. I don't know what he had tonight, probably around 20. And, like you said, James Harden said, I want to put it on me to get that out of him every night. And so that's a good sign, too. So I think both of those are good choices, and I think they do both benefit from teaming up with James Harden. All right, this next question has to
can I add something?
Yep.
The only thing about Harden I will say, too, is I feel like us getting Harden will, take the pressure off Tobias, too, Because I feel like before I feel like it was, maybe it was some of Steph Curry, but I feel like it was, all on Joel and Tobias. And now that, we got Harden, it's
Harden.
Right.
Harden will, be the second option, and then Embiid will be the first option, so Harris will be I can still play at my best, but I don't have to do really, really well every night,
Exactly.
Right. That's a good point. Good point. So this next one has to do just with the log jam that is the Eastern Conference at the top. Again, we noted on it, a lot of teams within 5 games and still a lot of basketball to be played. So Sixers are going to be in an adjustment period for a little bit with, out goes Seth, out goes Andre Drummond, in comes James Harden. What does that look like? Paul Millsap's getting minutes at center. Maybe they are active in the buyout market. All of these things that are going to happen here soon, post All-Star break. And, maybe the Sixers don't come out and win 7 straight out of the All-Star break. It might take time. But the more time it takes, the more they could fall in the standings. So the question is, do you care about playoff seeding? We have James Harden. We're healthy. We're good to go. Does playoff seeding matter to you, or to what degree does it matter to you?
I would say to be kind of like the NFL, Well, I feel like for NFL, if you get the 1 seed, it's home field advantage. But I feel like for the NBA, maybe it matters. I guess I don't really know, honestly.
Well, it's a tough question.
Honestly, yeah, it is a tough question. I think if the Sixers didn't have Harden, it would probably matter a little more.
Agreed.
But I think now that they have Harden, I think even if you're the 3 or 4, I think there's still. I mean, it's obviously going to be a more difficult path, but with Harden, I think it's more doable than it would be with just Embiid, if that makes sense. If they were the 1 seed, if they were the 4 seed with Embiid, the path through would be a lot harder. And again, that's just literally simply because there's one less star, there's less star power, and we know in the NBA you kind of need star power to win, and you need at least a superstar. So I think with Harden, it becomes a lot easier, despite what the Sixers may end up as in terms of seeding.
Yeah. I think even something we touched on last year in the playoffs was how much it depends on matchups.
Yep.
Rather than seeding, and that was great. Sixers were the 1 seed last year, meaning that they had home court advantage in every round that they were to play in, and we know they didn't get far, but that was a big deal. And I think the Sixers, heck, if we can play, if we get the 6 seed, and that means we can play the Toronto Raptors in the first round, and then the Cleveland Cavaliers in the second round, and then
Wait, so you're saying the Raptors would get the 3rd seed?
They're only 2.5 back
in that
of it.
situation.
I'm just saying.
I don't know.
Just to be clear,
They're only 2.5 back.
The Cavs are a good team. So think about what happened last year. We lost to the Hawks. The Hawks. So I'm just saying,
Right.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Let's not underestimate Cleveland because they're a good basketball team with LeVert,
that's
Allen,
true.
Garland, all those guys.
Right. But what I'm saying is, I'd rather have a 6 seed and have that route than get the 2 seed and play the Bucks in the first round.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because that's,
Yeah.
again, with how crowded the standings are right now, those situations are possible. And so, I'd rather be a 6 seed if that were the case. So, we'll just have to see. So, in that regard, I don't think standings matter too much. But as a standings watcher, especially in the second half of the season, that's going to be tough for me, especially if the Sixers start losing games, to be reminded, okay, it's fine. We're okay. We have James Harden. We're going to be all right. So that could be an interesting thing just to keep an eye out for, like how much do standings actually matter when it comes to this playoff push. Any other thoughts there before we move on to NBA All-Star Weekend and have some fun? Give us some predictions for the weekend.
I will say for the thing about the buyout market, I think. Do you ask that yet or no?
Mm-hmm.
Did you ask that yet?
No, go ahead.
I think for the buyout market, I'd love to see us get someone like Cody Zeller or Drew Eubanks. That would be huge, I think. Because I think we should get a big man or another shooter
Right.
off the market.
Yeah, I agree. I saw Daryl Morey said something today like that and I don't know how real this was, like he can't announce who it is yet kind of thing, but there's something in the works. Did you guys see that?
Oh, yeah, I saw that, yeah.
For a big man?
I don't think I saw that, but I mean, knowing Daryl Morey, I wouldn't even be surprised.
Right. So someone
Mike,
it
I
wouldn't
can
really
send it to you
shock
if you
me.
want. If you
Yeah,
wanna see,
someone
I can
commented
send it
and
to
they're
you.
like, "Oh, shocker! Daryl's 3 days ahead of everybody else, so he can't say anything yet."
This is nothing new.
Yeah, this is nothing new. Yeah, so no, I agree, Charlie. I think a big man or another shooter can certainly not hurt anything, and we've got obviously roster space to do something. So I expect something here in the next few days or week or however long it is for the buyout market, that kind of thing. So, all right, All-Star Weekend. Let's have a little fun, gentlemen, shall we?
Nice.
So we have the three-point contest, the dunk contest, the All-Star Game, and the All-Star MVP. We're going to give our predictions first. Here's how this is going to work. You cannot pick someone else that has already been taken. So let's see.
Oh, that's
We're
a
going to
tough
let
man.
Charlie decide where he wants to start, and he's going to get the first pick, and then Michael gets the first pick in the next round. So, Michael, or Charlie, do you want to have the first pick in the three-point contest, the dunk contest, or, we'll leave it at that, actually, for now. Which one do you want first pick in?
3-point contest.
All right, three-point contest. Do you see your options in front of you? Charlie, go ahead and make a selection.
I am picking Trey Young to win the All-Star contest.
Okay.
I mean 3-point contest.
Okay. Ice tray it is for Charlie. Keep track of who you got. All right, Michael, who you got?
I would love to see Cat win, but I'm going to go with Desmond Bane.
Ooh, that's
Oh,
who I
yeah,
was
he's
going to
really
pick.
good, yeah.
That's who I was going to
He's
pick.
a sniper. Yep.
Just for the fun of it, I'll go with the lefty, Luke Kennard.
Okay.
Why not?
Okay.
He's been
Also a good
hooping a little
choice.
bit.
Mhm.
He's been hooping. All right, Mike. So that means you are up first in the dunk contest. We got Cole
Okay.
Anthony, the guy from the Warriors, whose last name I can't pronounce except for Anderson.
Wanda Skylo Anderson.
Yeah, that guy. Obi Toppin and Jalen Green. Who you got?
I would also love to see Obi Toppin win because he flubbed last year. He absolutely stunk it up in the dunk contest last year. But I'm going to pick Jalen Green. Pretty easy choice. Pretty easy choice.
That's who I wanted. All right. I'm going to go second here. I'm going to skip Charlie. Charlie, you got next round. All right. I'm not taking Cole Anthony. You know what? I'll take Obi. I think
Good.
they wouldn't let him. They're not going to let him
I
back in
wanted to
again if he
pick
does what he
Obi.
did.
Yeah, exactly.
So this is do or die for him. So I'm doing Obi Toppin. All right, Charlie, who you got?
I am going to just say Cole Anthony because
Cole Anthony it is. North Carolina product. So we'll see who can take that one home. All right. This is interesting. So All-Star game. Team LeBron, Team Durant. You can pick whoever you want here. What team is Embiid's on Team Durant, right? Yeah.
Yeah, but it's actually Team Joel because Katie's not playing. Remember?
Oh, true. Katie's
What's-
not playing.
Yeah.
Because on 2K, at 2K they have it as Team Joel, and Joel's the
Oh,
Captain
because he was
Kid.
the second. He got the second most votes.
yep.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
So who are we taking in that? And then any MVP predictions. So make sure MVP is on the team you pick.
Yes.
Charlie, who you got winning the MVP? Who you got winning the game?
Well, I think the MVP will be the MVP of the All-Star game and the league this year. So I'm taking Joel, and
Attaboy.
I'm going to pick Team Durant to win because I want to see
There you
Joel
go.
do good. So
There you go. All right. All right. Mike.
Who? I don't actually know the full roster.
Well, Team LeBron
I'm
is
looking it up right now.
LeBron, Steph.
Wow, that's a good
They got
team.
Jokic and Giannis, I think.
Oh my god,
And,
that's a really good
and
team.
DeRozan.
They have DeRozan.
Wow, that's a good team.
That's a good team.
All right, I'm gonna pick Team LeBron.
All
and
right.
the MVP is gonna be Luka.
Okay. All right.
Luka,
good. So
I
we
love
all have
Luka.
different MVPs. I'm going to go Team LeBron.
You like
and
Luka
I'm,
too?
I'm
yeah,
going to
I love
go
Luka. He's one of my
with
favorite
Steph
players in the
Curry
NBA.
Boo.
for the MVP.
I love Steph Curry. Steph Curry is my god. I love Steph Curry. I love a lot of NBA players.
So we'll see.
go.
At least now we got our picks in. We know who to root for. And we'll have bragging rights of some sort. Maybe or maybe none of our guys will win. So maybe Toscano Anderson will win the dunk contest, and then C.J. McCollum win the three-point contest.
Toscano Anderson.
Someone else will win the MVP. Anyway, Charlie, thank you so much for joining us on this special
problem.
40th episode of Planet 76. Thank you for your support of Planet 76,
Yes,
too.
thank you.
No
Thank you
problem.
very much. We really appreciate you wanting to be on. And
No problem, Mike.
yeah, thanks also for supporting my page. I know you're big on my page as well, so I really appreciate that.
Thank you. Will you guys
You
give
got
me a
it, man.
shout out on like your Instagram or something, or Twitter or whatever?
Ooh, Michael, idea.
Ooh,
maybe
what's up?
Charlie should end with a bold prediction. So
Oh, sweet.
we
Okay.
put you on the spot here if you're a guest on Planet 76. So, Charlie, give me a bold prediction for the 76ers this season. What is it?
Can I just say Joel wins MVP?
That ain't bold.
Yeah, it is.
That ain't bold. He's the
Yes,
front
it
runner.
is.
Give me another
I
one.
mean, I'll take.
At least say we're
going
gonna win the finals.
I guess Troy won't.
No, I don't want to say that because I don't want to jinx anything.
All right, no, that's fine. That's
Um,
fine. We'll work with it. I ain't gonna be mad if
Let
that
me
happens.
think. I'm gonna say that James Harden hits at least one game winner this year.
Ooh,
Oh, okay.
there we
Cool.
go. Okay,
And when I
That's
say
interesting.
game winner, I mean buzzer beater, not like
right.
Buzzer
you
beater,
shoot a
yeah.
game winner and there's like 3 seconds left. Buzzer
So
beater.
Sweet.
James Harden's gonna get his Jimmy Butler on, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Those were fun times on that team. Anyway, this is episode 40 of Planet 76. Thank you for tuning in, and we are officially at the All-Star break. Sixers are 35-23, 2 games back in the loss column of first place in the East, and you can gear up for the post-All-Star break episode 41. I don't even know when action
The Dirk episode.
resumes. Yep, Dirk episode will be coming at you with episode 41 as we begin the second part of the NBA season. Going to be an interesting ride, and James Harden will be suiting up.
Yes.
So that's exciting. We'll see you next time on Planet 76. You just listened to an episode of the Planet 76 podcast. Hey, we appreciate you joining us for this episode. Whatever platform you're on, why don't you hit that subscribe button for us, and we'll see you next time.